set.
Meeting will please come to order. For the first time in 38 years, they gave me a gavel. I don't know, somebody must have left it here, so. Don't get rowdy, I'm armed. Okay, this is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of the city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Darley? Here. Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Nevadas? Here. Ms. Powers?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
Here. Do we have any changes in the agenda?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we have two cases that we are recommending tabling on. The first one is 2014-35, that's 1728 West Jefferson. Staff is requesting a tabling on that. There's some additional study that staff needs to do on this particular issue.
Anyone here on that petition? Well, we're not gonna be hearing it. If you wanna stay and watch the show, fine. Okay, what else we got?
We'll need to take a formal vote on that, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman,
Motion to table would be in order, to the next meeting?
to the next meeting.
Okay, motion to table to the next meeting would be in order on 2014-35.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to table to the next meeting. Call the roll.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas? Aye. Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley? Aye. Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. And the second one is?
The second one is 2014-41, that's 713 through 715 Collins Street. Staff is recommending a tabling for 30 days.
Till the next meeting? Okay, motion would be in order to table to the next scheduled meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table petition 2014-41. Call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas? Aye. Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. All set to return to the regular agenda. How about 2014-34, accurate personnel?
Actually, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, we do have one additional request, and that is to move an item up to the top of the agenda. Which number is that?
Which is?
That is 2014-43. 2014-43.
That's the medical cannabis at 23224 Center Point Way.
Correct.
Anyone here on that petition? Okay, let's hear it.
Petition number 2014-43, the applicant and contract purchaser is Cresco Labs LLC. The owner of the property is Annette Bates. Location 23224 Centerpoint Way. Their request is for a special use permit. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a medical cannabis cultivation center at the subject location. Under site-specific information, the 11.5 acre site is currently located in unincorporated Will County, zoned A1 agriculture, and contains a residential mobile home. The remainder of the site is undeveloped and contains a large natural tree-lined area. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The Center Point Container Yard exists to the north and has IT, and that's the City of Joliet intermodal terminal zoning, the Audubon Country Club to the south with I-1, City of Joliet Light Industrial. The Union Pacific Intermodal Yard is directly to the east, also with the IT Intermodal Terminal zoning. And an agricultural use remains to the west, but that also has the IT Intermodal Terminal zoning. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the state of Illinois recently enacted the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Pilot Program Act, which as a matter of state law legalizes the cultivation, transportation, sale, possession, and use of medical cannabis pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth. As per Section 140 of the Medical Cannabis Act, the City of Joliet enacted zoning regulations covering medical cannabis cultivation centers and medical cannabis dispensing organizations in January of this year. As per those regulations, a cultivation center is required to meet certain conditions and receive approval of a special use permit. The subject site meets all required spacing and location requirements and will need to meet all other terms of the ordinance if it receives state application approval in the future. Cresco Labs is the petitioner for this location and would be the user for the medical cultivation center if approved for the special use permit and the state license. If approved, they would be required to register with the Illinois Department of Agriculture. I think there was a miscue in your report that had a different office, but with the cultivation locations, it is the Illinois Department of Agriculture that has oversight. They would also need to be in good standing and operate in strict compliance with the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Pilot Program and with City Ordinance number 17186. A partner in the company is currently an existing operator at the oldest dispensary, which is the Denver Relief Consulting in Colorado. As part of the special use permit application, Cresco Labs is proposing to build a 37,600 square foot growing facility, and I believe the site plan just came up on the screen, a parking lot capable of accommodating 42 vehicles and a stormwater detention pond. The building is also being planned to allow a 34,200 square foot addition. The security plan would include a secure perimeter, exterior lighting, limited fortified entry points, interior loading and unloading, restricted access area, separation, secure vault storage, biometric access control, video surveillance, alarm monitoring, Duress alarm, power and cellular backup, and remote monitoring. The operation as a pharmaceutical manufacturer will be low in terms of intensity. The agricultural-based operation will be conducted within the enclosed, locked facility and does not produce any noise or air pollution. The manufacturer would produce no baked goods at their location. The medicinally focused product line would include standardized capsules, sublingual tinctures, strips and sprays, topical products, transdermal patches, suppositories, and pre-filled vaporizers. It should be noted that a proposal to annex classify to I-1 light industrial zoning and the approval of an annexation agreement is being proposed later this afternoon at the Plan Commission meeting, and I believe that's set to start at 4 p.m. If the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, the following conditions would be included. That the special use permit will terminate or lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained no later than 365 days of the effective date of approval. And finally, should the property be declared a public nuisance, It shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, who all is gonna speak? I must swear you all in. Want to all raise your hands then? You get a team prize for this. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sirs? Gentlemen, that's yes or no question. Very easy. Names and addresses.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jim Griffin. My address is 70 West Madison Street, Suite 5300, Chicago, Illinois, 60602. I'm a lawyer at the law firm of Shane Banks. I'm here representing Cresco Labs. Do you want everyone's name and address
Yeah,
now?
at the start.
Joe Caltabiano. I'm the president of Cresco Labs, 1720 North Cleveland, Chicago, Illinois, 60614.
Dominic Sergi, Cresco Labs, 200 West Madison, or excuse me, Monroe Street, 1700. Thank you. Chicago, Illinois, 60606.
Remember, you swore to tell the truth.
Right.
I'm Kayvon Kalabari. I'm with Denver Relief Consulting, as well as the CEO for Cresco Labs, and my address is 877 Lipan Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204.
My name is Jeff Miller. I'm a principal with Arcadias Inc. We're the architects working with Cresco Labs. We're located at 311 West Superior in Chicago, 60654.
Go ahead and proceed. Oops, one more.
Sorry. Finally, Andy Heinen. I'm with Kimley Horn Associates. I'm the civil engineer on the project. We're located at 1001 Warrenville Road in Lisle.
Thank you.
Thank you. As Mr. Jackson explained, we are here for a requested special use for a medical cannabis cultivation center. The property is at 23224 Center Point Way. As you can see, it's located in an agricultural and industrial area. The property is located contiguous to the city limits, and we're also seeking annexation through the Plan Commission process. This is an appropriate location for a special use for a medical cannabis cultivation center. The medical cannabis cultivation use is essentially a warehouse use inside of which you have a growing, an agricultural growing of the plant. So it's very appropriate to be located in an area that has industrial and agricultural uses surrounding it. The use will not negatively impact the surrounding properties. The warehouse building will fit in with other similar structures in the area. The amount of traffic and ingress and egress trips created by the property will be relatively light in comparison to other industrial uses, especially the intermodal uses in the vicinity of the property. Truck traffic is expected to be minimal, and most of the trucks will be small box trucks or vans that are using the Center Point Way entrance. Additionally, the site has all necessary utilities. There is public water, public sewer, electricity, and all necessary utilities available. And finally, Center Point Way will have adequate ingress and egress into the site that will be more than sufficient for both the truck and van traffic and for the employees who work there to get in and out to work. So we believe that it satisfies all the standards under your zoning ordinance for the grant of the special use. It also satisfies the 2,500-foot setback, which is required by both city ordinance and state law from any residentially zoned property or any school or daycare. So it's appropriately located according to both the state regs and the city zoning requirements. With me here to speak next is Joe Caltabiano with Cresco Labs, and he's going to provide some background about the company itself and the proposed operations at the facility. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time. My name is Joe Caltabiano, as I mentioned. We are building roughly a 40,000 square foot facility with union labor, as we've obtained union support. The partners and principals of Cresco Labs range from various backgrounds, but all highly professional, highly regulated industries such as finance, real estate, law, and as well as a specific partner who we brought on as an equity partner who is the expert in the cultivation of this product. We expect to employ roughly 175 to 200 union jobs as we build this facility. We anticipate roughly 40 employees with high earning wages starting approximately $18 to $20 an hour, with health benefits, 401ks, all of the very high-level benefits that you could expect from a new company operating in this industry. We are excited to partner with a city like Joliet, as we feel this will be a mutually beneficial agreement. We are all very philanthropic individuals. Myself personally was a cancer survivor. I've been very involved in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and some other cancer-based organizations. Being involved in the philanthropic side, one of our principles of our company will be to contribute both on a national level to philanthropic activities, but more importantly to a local level. We are currently adding strategic advisors in this area who will help us with some of the needs that possibly the Joliet community could benefit from. We've recently joined the Chamber of Commerce. We've obtained letters of support from both the mayor as well as County Commissioner Larry Walsh, and that's basically our situation.
Thank you.
As you can see, we've got other individuals here that could answer questions if you have about the building to be constructed or the operations or the growing, but unless you have any more questions, that's our presentation.
Thank you. You're not the first group to appear before this board, so we're familiar with the process and what we're trying to accomplish here. I applaud you for your efforts and your presentation. Are there any questions from the board? Any comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks for a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve petition 2014-43. Call the roll.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Chairman, this matter will go before the mayor and city council with a recommendation from the zoning board for approval.
Thank you. Okay, petition 2436.
34.
20, what is it?
34.
34, okay, I'm sorry. Permit for 2014-34, accurate personnel.
Petition number 2014-34. The applicant is Accurate Personnel, LLC. The owner is Dave Gregory. Location 3133 West Jefferson Street. His request is for a special use permit. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit in order to allow a temporary staffing agency at the subject location. The 3-acre site contains a multi-unit strip center with a large commercial parking lot. Zoning for the site is B3, that's general business zoning. The tenant space in question includes 2,484 square feet and recently was used by Reserves Network Staffing Company. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. To the north is residential, R5 high-density multifamily residential. To the south is residential, R2 single-family residential. To the east is commercial, B3 general business zoning. To the west, commercial, B3 general business zoning. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which met on September 4th. Under general discussion, Accurate Personnel has been in business for over 35 years and has multiple office locations in the Chicagoland area and across the country. through screening, counseling, training, and testing applicants. Staffing coordinators establish a professional relationship with all of the employees. After assessing a company's staffing needs, Accurate will make available qualified candidates picked from their database to fill open positions within an organization. Accurate offers their clients a variety of services, including temporary placements, temporary to hire placements, direct hire placements, human resource services, on-site programs, employee testing and training, and payrolling. The Joliet office will have 2 to 3 employees working from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's Monday through Friday. If the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, the following conditions would be included. That the special use granted will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And finally, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Michael Severese, 33 South Roselle Road, Schaumburg, Illinois, 60193.
Anything you'd like to say?
Actually, Mr. Jackson did a really good job of describing our company. We've been in business for 35 years, and we've got 11 offices in Illinois, and we're expanding. This would be our 12th.
Any questions or comments from the board? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Or anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor. Ask the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Please call the roll.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevades? Aye. Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this matter will go before the mayor and city council with a recommendation from the zoning board for approval.
Thank you. Petition 2014-36, Roger Stock.
Petition number 2014-36, the applicant is Roger Stock of, could you help me with the pronunciation? Chickatelli Signs Incorporated. The owner of the property is Jeff Cat LLC. Michael Cairo is the principal. Location 2613 West Jefferson Street. Their request is for a variation on signage. The petitioner is requesting a variation to allow an additional wall sign that does not face a street front for a proposed Potbelly restaurant located at 2613 West Jefferson Street. The 1.21 acre subject site comprises one lot within the recently approved Jeff Cat subdivision, which is the former site of the Joliet Dodge dealership. The proposed 7,794 square foot building is currently being constructed on Lot 1. The Potbelly's restaurant is being proposed for 2,800 square feet. For the 2,800 square foot tenant space located on the west end unit. The existing zoning is B3 general business. Surrounding zoning land use and character: to the north, commercial B3, which is general business. To the south, commercial B3. To the east, commercial B3. And to the west, commercial B3. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the requested variation on signage will allow Potbelly's to add a wall sign on the west-facing elevation of the building. The proposed sign will include the Potbelly sandwich shop verbiage and a drive-through sign that is less than 60 square feet total. The need for the sign on this elevation is to identify the location of the drive-through, which will provide better parking lot circulation. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
Roger Stock, 3956 West 168 Place, Country Club Hills, Illinois.
Any comments you'd like to make, sir?
The only thing I was going to mention is that without the signage on the drive-through entrance, Potbelly's is not easily identified from the west elevation, as you see in the picture. The west elevation faces an adjacent shopping center with vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The building's front and street signage will not be clearly displayed from the adjacent parking lot, which is immediately west, causing potential customers to go elsewhere. This will cause Potbelly to lose revenue and potentially lead to closing the location due to lack of profitability. As stated above, there is an adjacent shopping center to the new Potbelly location. However, there's no frontage road in between Potbelly's location and the shopping center that would allow for a second wall sign. So they're hoping that people in that parking lot and in that shopping center be able to see this and possibly more customers.
Where is the road cut gonna be there to line up for the red lights there? Is that, isn't there gonna be some street design work?
Yeah, you can see on the site plan here, the existing intersection, there's a symbol for a signal there. And just to the north will be the entrance and exit.
That'll be east of this location, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
Yeah, to the west, there's full access right directly in front of the proposed, this particular building.
Okay. Any other questions, comments from the board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor of Potbelly? Anyone opposed? Chair closes discussion to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley? Aye. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadis? Aye. Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
There goes my calorie count. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Petition 2014-37, Oscar Escarino.
Petition number 2014-37, the applicant is Oscar Escarino, who is also the owner. Location 925 North Broadway Street. Mr. Escarino's request is for a variation of use to allow continuation of a two-unit residence, which is an R3, 1 and 2 family residential use, in an R2 single-family residential district. The applicant requests a variation of use to allow continuation of a two-unit residence at the subject location, which is located on the west side of Broadway, south of Hutchins. The house was an owner-occupied two-unit that was vacated in June of 2014 when the owners retired and moved out of state. The property includes a lot on the south side of the two-unit residence, which will remain part of the subject site. Under site-specific information, the property is located in the Cunningham neighborhood area. The site is zoned R2 single-family residential. The property is comprised of a 1,848 square foot, two-story frame structure built in 1900. The building has a two-bedroom apartment located on each level and a full basement. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the land use and zoning to the north, south, and west is single-family, zoned R2 single-family residential. A regional open space and seasonal ice cream shop, zone B3 general business, is located east of the site. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the applicant is requesting a variation of use to allow the continuation of a two-unit residence located in a single-family residential district. The two-unit was not on the rental inspection program in the past because the structure was related living. The petitioner purchased the property this year and plans to rent both units at the site. An initial inspection was performed recently at the site. Neighborhood services violations generated by the inspection will need to be corrected prior to city council consideration of the variation. Adequate off-street parking for 3 cars currently exists at the site. The gravel driveway located on the north side of the structure was recently paved. Due to the location of the 2-unit on a busy arterial street, the petitioner may construct a secondary exit leading to the alley in the future. Should the zoning board recommend approval, the following conditions will be added. Number 1, that the vacant lot adjoining the 2-unit residence remain part of the subject site and that property not be expanded in the future. 2, that all neighborhood services violations be corrected prior to consideration of the variation of use by the city council. 3, that the existing off-street parking for 3 cars remain in the future. 4, that the property owner participate in the Joliet Landlord Training and Tenant Screening Program. 5, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the variation of use. 6, that the variation of use will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained no later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And I believe that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Will this be on the city council's next agenda meeting, or how much time does he have to complete the problems that existed there? Does anybody know?
Our understanding is that most of the corrections have already been.
Yeah, I don't have a list of them here, so I don't know
Yeah.
what they were.
Yeah,
Have
we
you
would
complied
usually.
with most of the
yes,
conditions
sir.
that were stated?
Yeah. On Tuesday, the inspector went to the.
Let me swear you in first. You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
Oscar Escarino, 780 Lindsay Lane, Bolingbrook, Illinois, 60440.
Okay, go on. And
Yeah, on Thursday, the inspector went to the property and he inspected everything, and he said everything is fine now.
Okay, so there's no there's no problem for him to have this done by the next city council meeting then?
Correct.
Okay. Any other comments you'd like to make, sir?
No.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I have a couple questions. Were you aware of the zoning when you purchased this property?
No.
And you intend to rent both units, so you would not live in one?
Yeah.
That is correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you own other buildings, other rentals?
No, I live in Bolingbrook. This is the first house that I buy in Joliet.
Okay, but you don't have rentals anywhere else
No.
in Bolingbrook or anywhere?
Yeah, I do in Bolingbrook.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you do not have a problem with going through the landlord training? Have you ever gone
No.
through anything like that before?
I went to a couple times in Bolingbrook, not in Joliet, but I can go.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Do you have anybody living in there now, or is it empty?
No, it's empty.
It's empty now.
Yeah.
Any further comments or questions?
Yeah, I do have one more question. Was this built as a 2-unit, or was this built as a single family? How did this, does anybody know?
Well,
1900?
yeah, it was built in 1900. I don't believe we have any other information. Typically, we check the Joliet directory, and oftentimes there's a clue there. I don't believe anything came out through that particular source. Related living situations are often hard to track as well, and it seems like that was what was going on here.
I see. Okay.
Do they have separate utilities for each apartment? Meters?
Yes.
You
Yes.
do? Okay.
Gas and the Comet.
So this has
the
pretty much
electricity.
always been a 2-unit building.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments or questions? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Please come forward.
John Sheridan, 11.
Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes, I do. John Sheridan, 1122 North Center Street. Related living was just a term to get around our zoning inspection program and so on. A lot of those homes in that area did that, and one even on my block in Center Street. I'm with the Cuttingham Neighborhood Council, and we are opposed on rental property with absentee landlords. If the landlord lived in the building, that's another thing, because then the landlord would be more apt to keep the property up and so on. I sat through a land use committee meeting yesterday, an hour discussion about coming into the city of Joliet from I-80 and Briggs Street. This is a corridor also coming into the city of Joliet. They didn't want a junkyard by I-80, and we don't want junk houses on Broadway. There are a lot of houses in a rental property that are deteriorated. If you go just down the street south of that building and see the tow truck company and then come back up to his house, you'll see the property I'm talking about. The two folks north of him built beautiful brick homes there trying to improve that neighborhood. So again, there you go. So again, trying to preserve that area of people coming to Broadway, we feel that rental property of absentee landlords is inappropriate. You go up a little bit further on Broadway, you'll see the deterioration of property that's rental property. Hickory Street, another problem. All absentee landlords in that area. The biggest problem we have with neighborhood services calls is absentee landlord property. So we would be opposed to making this a apartment building where the landlord does not live there. So thank you for your time.
Is that a matter of policy, sir, or do you treat each case individually?
We treat each case separately, but it's generally in this area we have a lot of problems with police calls and building deterioration. So in a situation, you just had one before you maybe a couple of months ago on Highland Avenue. We weren't opposed to that because the people that were living in that building are going to be the same people, and one was elderly and so on, that they're going to be there forever. So when that property on Highland, I think it was, went into to be asked to go special use permit, it was a different situation. You know, because the people, the tenants and the landlord were still there, and they needed to get that changed. So that, you know, we look at it separately like that. But this area here, we've had a lot of problems. And again, you drive down Broadway, you see it for yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you given any consideration to the hardship that may be placed on the owner, because this has always been a two-unit? It would cost him substantial amounts of money to convert that into a single-family unit.
Well, it was a two-unit with related living. Again, it was probably a two-unit illegally to get around our city ordinance on the inspection program and so on, and paying the sewer and water bill services by being an illegal two-unit.
Well, once again, there's no evidence here to support that. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just stating that we'd be placing unusual hardship on the owner, that on a building that you'd have to convert back to a single family when he has all the utilities and everything in there for a two-unit.
Well, there's also ways when you're buying property, have it on contingency, contingency basis, but a sale contingent upon the fact that I get the zoning, the approved zoning. He's an investor. He's an investor in Bolingbrook. He doesn't even live in Joliet. It's an investment property for him. Contingency upon proper zoning is the way you buy property if you're going to be an investor. You've seen it done all the time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Do you have any comments you'd like to make certain to rebut the comments that were made? No. Okay. Chair closes petition of the floor and asks the
Mr.
board-
Chairman, I think we had a comment from staff.
Oh, okay.
I did inspect the building, and during the inspection, I remarked to the owner that this is one of the best kept buildings I'd ever seen. So it's in its vacant condition right now, so it looks clean, but it's one of the cleanest that I've ever seen.
Thank you. Chair again closes the petition of the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I move to allow it. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Darley? No. Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
No.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
No.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
One of the conditions that's necessary to approve a variation is either hardship or practical difficulty. This building seems to be in good condition, and the staff say that the interior is well, and I do think there would be a practical difficulty in forcing the gentleman to convert that back to a single family. Therefore, I vote aye. Secretary, would you announce the vote?
4 to 3. 4 to 3 for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This matter will go before the mayor and city council with a recommendation from the zoning board for approval.
Petition 2014-38. Tim Bergeson. Mr. Bergeson present?
No, he's not. We're the owners.
Okay.
Petition number 2014-38. The applicant is Tim Bergeson. The owner is Virginia Jones. Location 2009 Arden Place. The request is for a variation of a minimum side yard setback from 10 feet to 7 feet to allow a 6-foot by 15-foot addition on the east side of the attached garage. The applicant plans to construct a 6-foot by 15-foot addition on the east side of an existing 2-story residence. The property is a 2,973 square foot structure built in 1968. The residence was expanded with a 1-story rear room addition in 2003. The site is located at 2009 Arden Place, on the north side of Arden, east of Ann Street. The purpose of the proposed addition is to provide increased garage area for the homeowner. Under site-specific information, the site comprises 13,186 square feet. It is a rectangular-shaped parcel. The parcel is considered a through lot, having a rear yard facing Black Road and, of course, the front yard facing Arden Place. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The adjoining land use and zoning is single-family residential, zoned R2 to the north and zoned R1 to the south, east, and west. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board meeting, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the proposed 6-foot by 15-foot garage addition will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The addition will be offset back from the alignment of the front line of the existing structure. A site plan is attached to your report and also on the screen. The addition is planned to provide expanded garage work area. Planning and Public Works had no issues with the request. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The evidence you present, do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Ron Jones, 2009 Arden Place, Joliet, Illinois.
Go ahead, sir.
The addition here is basically to replace some storage space that we currently have in a crawl space in our basement that we can't use anymore because we're getting too old. It is behind a fence and behind a tree from the street side, so you won't be able to see it. And on the east side where there is a house, it's in his backyard. These houses are, house next to ours on the east side faces Black Road, and our house faces Arden. There, you see the tree and the fence that's actually behind the tree.
It looks like you've got some other, I drove by there the other day. It looks like you have several other additions in the back there.
There had been some other additions on the west side and on the north side. Really, we converted a very large patio, or excuse me, a deck into an extra room behind our kitchen a few years ago.
So this will be inside?
It'll be inside the fence and behind the tree,
is.
just storage. It's basically a 6-foot addition to the garage just for storage. Because we really can't use our crawl space
problem
anymore.
here with ground coverage, aside from the side yard, is there? That's what I'm thinking of, all those additions that were put on.
No, we have no lot coverage issue.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Anyone in the audience who wish to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Darley.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Petition 2014-39, Martin Bruno.
Petition number 2014-39, the applicant is Martin Bruno. The owners are Martin and Mary Bruno, location 1014 Kolar Court. Their request is for a variation of a required rear yard setback from 25 feet to 14 feet to allow construction of an attached 16-foot by 16-foot screen room and adjoining deck. The applicant plans to construct a 16-foot by 16-foot screen room and adjoining 16-foot by 16-foot deck at the rear of the one-story residence. The purpose of the additional room is to provide a 3-season living area for the homeowner. Under site-specific information, the lot comprises 9,272 square feet, located in the Sable Ridge subdivision. The property is zoned R1B, which is single-family residential. The 1,976 square foot one-story residence was built in 2008. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the land use and zoning to the north is single-family residential, zoned R1B, to the north, south, and east, and detention and undeveloped property zoned R1B to the east and west. The applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the proposed screen room addition will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The addition will have a rear yard setback of 14 feet from the back property line. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
Name and address.
Martin Bruno, 1014 Kolar, Joliet.
Any comments?
No, you did a fine job.
Questions or comments by the board? Anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the petition. Please call the roll.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Ms. Darley.
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition 2014-40. Contract purchaser Agricare. Got people here?
Petition number 2014-40, the applicant and contract purchaser is Agricare LLC, also known as Agricare Labs. Owners of the property are Scott E. Hill, Dennis M. Hill, and Larry Kubinski. Location 2800 Schweitzer Road. Their request is for a special use permit. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a medical cannabis cultivation center at the subject location. The 19.2 acre site was annexed, classified to I-1, and that's City of Joliet Light Industrial Zoning, with an approved annexation agreement by the Mayor and City Council in January 2001. The site is partially improved with a 16,000 square foot metal building, which is the leisure hours operation, and 2 outdoor racetracks for hobbyists. The site improvements also contain an existing well, stormwater detention pond, and an existing asphalt parking lot that can accommodate approximately 100 vehicles. The remainder of the site is undeveloped at this time. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, to the north is commercial I-1 light industrial zoning, To the south is agricultural with IT intermodal terminal zoning. To the east is agricultural with IT intermodal terminal zoning. And to the west is undeveloped, unincorporated Will County. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which was held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the state of Illinois recently enacted the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis pilot program, which as a matter of state law legalizes the cultivation, transportation, sale, possession, and use of medical cannabis pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth in those regulations. As per Section 140 of the Medical Cannabis Act, the City of Joliet enacted zoning regulations covering medical cannabis cultivation centers and medical cannabis dispensing organizations on January 7, 2014. As per those regulations, a cultivation center is required to meet certain conditions and receive approval of a special use permit. The subject site meets all required spacing and location requirements and will need to meet all other terms of the ordinance if it receives state application approval in the future. Agricare is the petitioner for this location and would be the user for the medical cultivation center if approved for the special use permit and the state license. If approved, they would be required to register with the Illinois Department of Agriculture, be in good standing, and operate in strict compliance with the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Pilot Program Act and with the City Ordinance Number 17186. As part of the special use permit application, Agricare is proposing to first locate within the existing 16,000 square foot building, but would expand with the construction of a 107,000 square foot new building. And that is what's depicted on the graphic on the screen. Let's see here. Safety and security would be a top priority as dictated by the state, but would include security fencing, cameras, and monitoring systems, and security guards on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The operation as a pharmaceutical manufacturer is low in terms of intensity. The agricultural-based operation is conducted within the enclosed, locked facility and does not produce any noise or air pollution. Twice per week, the cultivation center would distribute its product to Illinois dispensaries by armored car. Other projects that the development team has been involved with in the past include locations in Connecticut and Colorado. It should be noted that an amendment to the annexation agreement is being proposed later this afternoon at the Plan Commission meeting in order to include a cannabis cultivation center use on this site. If the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, the following conditions would be included. That the special use granted would terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained no later than 365 days of the effective date of approval. Should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Who all is going to be speaking here? All of you? Okay, let me swear you all in. Do you all swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
And I'll need your names and addresses for the record.
Sylvia Mikas with the law offices of Chico and Nunez, 333 West Wacker Drive, Chicago, Illinois.
Glenn Taylor, 428 Windsor Terrace, Libertyville, Illinois. I'm the president.
Dan Emmons, 10366 West Grand Place, Littleton, Colorado.
Frank Malahy, 5515 Northeast River Road, Project Executive, FH Passion.
And Rod Tonelli with Rudiger Tonelli and Associates, we're the site planning consultant, 129 Capista in Shorewood. Thanks.
Thank you.
Again, good afternoon, Chairman Hennessy and members of the board. As presented by the city, the applicant, Agricare LLC, doing business as Agricare Labs, is seeking to purchase the property located at 2800 Schweitzer Road. The subject property contains 19.2 acres and is partially improved with a 16,000 square foot building currently operating as Leisure Hours Raceway. It also contains approximately 100 parking spaces, and the remainder of the property is vacant. The applicant is seeking to establish a medical cannabis cultivation center within the existing 16,000 square foot building as phase 1 of its proposed development. Dependent on patient demand, the applicant will construct a new 107,000 square foot building as part of phase 2 of its development. Now, before I turn the PowerPoint presentation over to Glenn and Dan, I would like to give you a brief background about Agricare and its principles. Most importantly, I'd like to share with you a little bit about Agricare's CEO and founder, Ethan Ruby. Unfortunately, due to health constraints, Ethan was unable to travel today to meet with you. He has been part of meetings with Mayor Durante and Jim Haller, of which we had very successful discussions, and again, he would have loved to have been here. But again, a little bit about Ethan. In 2000, Ethan was a young professional working in Manhattan. While walking across the street, a driver ran a red light, striking Ethan, resulting in severe injury to his spinal cord. So, at the beginning of that fateful day, Ethan was an active young professional, and by the end of the same day, Ethan had become a T6 paraplegic. After suffering through his recovery and years of opiate use, Ethan moved his family to Colorado and was finally able to be free of opiates and learn firsthand the benefits of medical cannabis. Ethan's experience as a patient ignited a passion to initiate groundbreaking research and new development in this industry. Ethan and Dan Emmons founded a company by the name of TheraPlant, which operates a medical cannabis cultivation center in Watertown, Connecticut. TheraPlant was the first cultivation center to be awarded a license by the state of Connecticut, which is one of the most stringent states to legalize medical cannabis. Glenn Taylor brings vast experience to Agricare as well, due to his 20-plus years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. So it's with this experience and knowledge of the industry that Ethan, along with Scott and Glenn, seek to bring an A-plus cultivation center to Joliet, Illinois. Again, not only to bring economic development, but also to bring relief to patients facing the same debilitating conditions as Ethan. So with that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Glenn Taylor.
Thank you, Sylvia, Chairman Hennessy, and the members. I want to just walk you through. I'm not going to try to educate you on the industry. I think you've had enough of that. But what I will do is try to explain that the state has indicated that one of the single most important things that the cultivation center applicants can have is experience in the business. And while I'm not the experienced grower of medical marijuana, I've spent 20 years in a large publicly traded corporation where I was an executive officer and a group president, but we were in the pharmacy benefits and mail order pharmacy business, not the growing of medical marijuana business. Nonetheless, I'm bringing experts in to assist me with everything that the state requires. But what I would do is show you some photos and go through a little bit of the story of what's behind Agricare. First, we are building community. We are going to have the cultivation center built with about 100 union laborers. The Three Rivers Construction Alliance has issued us a very nice letter of support. So it'll all be a union-based operation, or based building operation. We'll have about 100 permanent jobs after that by the third year. At least that's our projection, and obviously could get more, but it depends on the level of patient demand, which is the great unknown for all of us in the business right now. We plan to operate a large facility, and with that large scale is going to come, we think, some really interesting benefits for the community. We probably will spend between 8 and 10 millions in the construction phase. That will add very nicely to the property tax base. And of course, we'll be bringing in about 100 permanent jobs. The average wage will start at somewhere around $30,000 to $35,000 a year and top out about $120,000 a year. So some pretty nice paying jobs. So let me show you a little bit about, the location. So phase one, which is situated here on the property in the left forward side, would be the 16,000-foot renovation of the existing leisure time property that's on the space. And that's the floor plan. The proposed facility would be what's in red, the larger facility, which would be about 107,000 square feet. And it's in a modular build, so we can easily expand or contract. The green indicates the grow rooms, which are the well-lit rooms that actually grow the plant. The lighter green are where you propagate or start the grow. And then the other offices are basically offices, a lab, some other rooms that are essential to it. But you don't need more of those if you're going to grow bigger. You just need more grow rooms. So we keep those off the grid until you need them, and then you add them as the patient growth and the demand for the product grows. We are, of course, compliant. That is Ethan in a wheelchair, T6, but we have a ton of ways that we go beyond the ADA requirements. This is a picture of the closed-circuit TV operation. So there'll be well over 100, maybe approaching 200 cameras inside and out, watching and monitoring everything. Biometric scanning, so you can't get into the facility with just a badge. You also are going to need a biometrical scan. These pictures are real pictures of our TheraPlan operation taken last week. Okay. This is a picture of a security guard who is monitoring 24/7, and this was again taken last week. So you can see it's a very secure facility, always being monitored. This is actually what one of the flowering room looks like, with the plants actually in their final stages of growth. And this is the ventilation and lighting design process, which is, of course, very important, because from a ventilation standpoint, you want to make sure that nothing ever leaves the property in terms of pollution. And from a lighting standpoint, we're trying to get as close as we can as mirroring what the sun can do. You can't replicate the sun, but with the lighting systems of today, you can get pretty darn close. This is what the ventilation system that's in operation in Connecticut actually looks like, and it'll be identical to what we put in Illinois. And then finally, that's what the final product looks like, for those of you who haven't seen it. And this is the vault, and it's a DEA-approved vault that we store the final product in before it's taken to the dispensaries. So with that, we'd like to invite any questions that you might have. Go forward, basically. We appreciate the time.
Any questions or comments? Have there been historically any problems? I know that it's in Colorado or any of these places where any attempted invasions of these places, burglaries or anything? I know that you're...
Historically in Colorado, it's quite rampant, actually.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, we haven't had one attempt at all.
Well, they're more conservative out there.
There's only 4 of us in Connecticut, where in Colorado there's probably 1,000 licensed facilities and probably 2,000 quasi-legal unlicensed facilities, so they just run around.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Well, I hope nobody's been wearing these to the prom as nosegays, but anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the petition. Please call the roll.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Congratulations, gentlemen. Good luck to you.
Mr. Chairman, this matter will go before the mayor and city council with a recommendation from the zoning board for approval.
Thank you. Petition 2014-42, Rebecca Lozano, excuse me.
Petition number 2014-42, the applicant is Rebecca Lozano and Jennifer Mossberger. They are also the owners. Location 1101 Clement Street. Their request is for a variation to allow the increase of a non-conforming side yard setback for a two-story home from the required 8 feet to 3 feet 2 inches. The applicant plans to construct a 12-foot by 18-foot kitchen addition on the rear of an existing two-story residence. The property is a 1,137 square foot structure built in 1901. An attached two-car garage located at the rear of the property was built in 2005. The site is located in the west side Cunningham neighborhood. The purpose of the proposed addition is to provide increased living area for the homeowners. Under site-specific information, the lot comprises 6,750 square feet. The lot is located on the northwest corner of Clement and Hutchins. The front yard faces Clement Street. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the adjoining land use and zoning is single-family residential use, zoned R2, single-family. To the north and east, in 1 and 2 family residential use, zoned R3, 1 and 2 family residential to the south and west. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which met on September 4th. Under general discussion, the proposed 12-foot by 18-foot rear addition will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The addition will match the existing 3 feet 2 inch non-conforming setback of the petitioner's house. The required setback is 8 feet. A site plan is attached. The addition is planned to provide expanded kitchen area. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Could I have your name and address, please?
Rebecca Lozano, 1101 Clement Street, Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make, ma'am?
Just want to make my kitchen bigger.
Questions or comments from the board?
Could we see the correct,
Slides.
thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darling?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition 2014-44, Kelly Fowler.
Petition number 2014-44. The applicant is Kelly Fowler. She is the leasee. The owners of the property are Mark and Connie Burkar. Location 10 Fairlane Drive. Ms. Fowler's request is for a special use permit to allow a community wellness center that conducts massage therapy and training. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a community wellness center that conducts massage therapy and training in an existing office building at the subject location. The property consists of a first-floor tenant space located in a freestanding 2-story office building at Stadium Plaza, just north of McBride's on 52, which was the former City of Champions restaurant. The structure was built around 1967. The building is framed by paved parking at the front and rear. Stadium Plaza Shopping Center includes the restaurant, a long multi-tenant retail building, and a small multi-tenant building in addition to the office building on Fairlane Drive. The site has a total lot area of approximately 1.5 acres. The site is zoned B3, general business. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the surrounding land use and zoning is professional office and single-family residential use, Zone B3 and R2, single-family to the north, and commercial Zone B3 to the southeast and west. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board meeting held on September 4th. Under general discussion, the subject site is a 20-foot by 63-foot ground floor tenant space. The wellness center is named Able Body Enterprises, Sage Bodywork and Wellness. Services offered at the wellness center will include community classes on topics such as medication, nutrition and wellness maintenance, children's yoga, nutrition consultants, massage and other forms of bodywork, and chiropractic. The community wellness business includes a front waiting area, 3 massage rooms, and an office classroom. The petitioner recently had to cease operation of the services within a local chiropractic office due to the relocation of that particular operation. The petitioner's new massage therapy location will receive chiropractor referrals as well as walk-in customers. Several other licensed massage therapists will operate in the facility that will be managed by the petitioner. Adequate off-street parking is available. Site plan and photographs are attached as well as depicted on the screen. If the zoning board desires to approve the special use, the following conditions would be included. 1, that the business be subject to all city permitting and licensing requirements. 2, we've added the 180-day clause, which requires that the special use will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of approval. And finally, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
I do, sir.
May I have your name and address?
My name is Kelly Fowler. I reside at 115 North William Street in Joliet, Illinois.
Any comments you'd like to make?
I would. I am a very passionate professional about supporting the community in which I work. I graduated from Joliet Central, class of 1991. I've been a current resident of Joliet for the last 10 years. I'm an active community member. I'm the chairperson at the Forest Park IE School, the Parent Teacher Alliance. I'm a 7-year member of the CAPA organization, and I'm also going to be a new member of the Joliet Chamber of Commerce. I've been a consummate professional within the massage and bodywork field. I've not only been running my business in this area for about the last 8 or 9 years, but I'm also a teacher of massage therapy education, both at the local, national, and state, I skipped one in there, state level and the national level as well. I've worked with many, many medical professionals in the area to include chiropractors, physical therapists, surgeons, and psychologists. And I'm really looking to seek to improve the lives of our community by offering services that are not readily available and that are financially feasible. Thank you for your time.
How come you didn't say all that? Everybody else was happy with what you said.
We'll have to have her write the staff reports from that.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board?
This is your first venture on your own, though, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
Any other comments or questions? Anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darling?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Okay, petition 2014-45, Dominic and Andrea Kapp.
Petition number 2014-45, the applicants and owners are Dominic and Andrea Kapp Location 1443 Colorado Avenue, and their request is for a variation. The petitioners are requesting a variation on maximum number of garages allowed in order to add a second detached garage. The 10,160 square foot double lot currently contains an existing single-family home with an existing 22 by 22 detached garage that will remain. The property is zoned R2 single-family residential under surrounding zoning, land use, and character. To the north, south, east, and west, we have all residential uses and all R2 single-family residential zoning. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this particular request at the Community Design Review Board, which met on September 4th. Under general discussion, the approval of the requested variation will allow the petitioners to construct a new 24 by 24 detached garage that is needed for the storage of a large pickup truck and motorcycle that the couple owns. The new garage will be constructed with material to match the existing siding currently utilized on the home. It will meet the required 10-foot setback in order to access it directly from the alley. The existing and proposed garages cannot be converted into a separate dwelling space or commercial office space now or in the future. It is not the desire of the petitioners to utilize the garages for a separate use, and they fully understand that this is not allowed as per the city zoning code. We have conditions here. The detached garage must be constructed with similar siding, asphalt shingles, and colors to match the material on the home. And finally, the garages cannot be utilized for a separate dwelling space or commercial office space in violation of city zoning ordinance. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
Rhea Cap, 1443 Colorado, Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make?
Try to keep the husband happy. That's it.
See, this time you don't have to say anything. Okay. Any comments from the board? Any questions? Anyone in the audience? Anybody awake? Anybody wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes of the last meetings signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of adjournment, so signify.
Aye.
Meeting, oh,